There we go, the test, guys. Secrets of the Soul. Is that the person testing me? Because that's... I feel like that guy should not be testing anybody. Every angel has a demonic past, and every demon has an angelic future. If one so wishes it to be. A madman. Okay. Who's the madman? You find yourself on the inside of a desolate chapel, in the throes of a midnight storm. The rain pelts the windows like falling stones, and the wind rages on as the chapel doors tremble. After a quick glance around the room, you hear a low, grizzled voice growl at you from the darkness, beckoning you in. Alright, dude, take it easy. It's the Watcher. Well, hello, Wanderer. It's a pleasure to find you here. Come in from the rain. Rest your weary bones, for we have much to talk about. Dude, what happens if you enter like a random church, you know, because it's raining outside, you're just walking home and like you don't have an umbrella, you forgot it that day, it's raining so hard, it's hailing. It actually hurts. So you enter a random church and you see that guy floating in the middle of the room. You stay. Is that part of the test? Is this like the first failed question? I feel like you already failed the test if you stay, if you decide to stay. It looks like the storm is going to last a while, Wanderer. Make yourself comfortable. I don't think you'll be going anywhere for some time. Alright. We should find something to pass the time, don't you think? Perhaps we should get acquainted with one another. I'd love to learn all about you. Did I die? I think I died, maybe. And this is the afterlife, and I'm being judged. I'm sure your soul is full of stories, Wanderer. I'll bet you have delicious secrets deep inside, too. Don't lick your teeth, though. I have an idea. I'm going to ask you some questions, and you're going to answer them for me. Very, very honestly. That way I'll have the opportunity to get to know you. I see. The real you. Now, don't you lie to me, Wanderer. No one likes a liar. Alright. In the end, I will tell you what I see. Deep, deep within your soul. Doesn't that sound like fun? Sure, man. Let's get started, shall we? Make yourself comfortable as we delve deep into your mind. We'll begin. Now. Do you know what the meaning of life is? Fuck, we're starting easy, huh? We're starting with an easy one. Do you know the meaning of life? Sure. Yes, I do know the meaning of life. And the meaning of life is that life has no meaning. Do you believe beauty is ageless? No, I don't. Beauty is, in fact, incredibly dependent on the age. Like, if we're talking people... Okay, this is actually a fucked up question, because if you're talking about aesthetics, you know, like physical, perceivable beauty, then the question is easy. It's like, no, beauty is not ageless. Like, people get old. Even like works of art are considered beautiful or bad, depending on the time period. And some people will argue that art is beautiful no matter what, but they're lying. That's not true. Think about the canons of beauty in culture. They changed wildly throughout history. Now, if you're talking about something different, like imagine if a person is a beautiful person in the sense of, no, she's a really good person and stuff like that, then that could be ageless until they die. So maybe not even in that case. I'm gonna say no. I don't think anything is beautiful forever, no matter what. Yeah. Do you believe a human being can produce something perfect? No. No. I mean, most of the times I would settle for passable. Do you believe inspiration can be created by oneself? Ooh, so like, if you believe that you can inspire yourself to do something, to do what? Like what kind of inspiration? I mean, this is a tough question because I think you can set the scene for yourself to be inspired, but it's always something that comes from the outside that inspires you. Is talking about in motivation, then yes, inspiration is external usually. Yeah, I feel like that's it. But you cannot all of a sudden decide to inspire yourself. I mean, you can feel inspired, but like how much of that comes from inside and how much of that comes from the way the environment and everything outside of your own person influenced you in the past like days or two? I think no. Would you say art is an integral part of life? Yes, that actually I do believe. It doesn't have to be art in terms of like painting, or music, or anything specific, but art is passion, and it's a very, very crucial feeling for a human, I think. You can find art in anything, but it's truly one of the best parts of life. Would you consider yourself to be a talented individual? Oof. Okay, here we go. I mean, talent has many, many, many different shapes. I think most people, not all of them, but most people can be talented in one very specific area. With the right conditions, everybody can be talented at something. Well, not everybody. Some people are just fuck-ups and there's nothing to do about it. But most people. And I feel like I am probably talented at something, but being talented and being in a place where you can actually prove or employ your talent are two very different things. So I would say yes, I am talented. I couldn't tell you at what. Do you believe being beautiful is an advantage of life? Of course. It's not like I do believe it. It's been scientifically proven. I've seen plenty of experiments in both like job interviewing. Prettier candidates are usually kept in higher regards than other candidates. And also in courtrooms and trials, it's harder to convict beautiful people. That is actually true and scientifically proven. Statistically proven that beautiful people actually do get away with things and also have like reduced sentences and stuff like that. It's insane, but that's true. That actually happens. Do you think you care more about your own appearance than others care about your appearance? I mean, I'm not sure. I can tell you how much I care about my own appearance, but I don't know how much other people care about my appearance. I would say, in general, people do care about other people's appearances. And that is fine, that's normal. When you don't know somebody, like imagine you meet a random stranger, the first impression is 100% coming out of just the appearance, because that's the first thing you see. And your brain, willingly or not, is already matching what you look like to people you've known before, or ideas that you have, stereotypes, archetypes that you made yourself based on features. So I do think that people do care about appearances, even they're unconsciously, but they do care. Now, I have no way of measuring how much they care compared to me, so this is a very difficult question to answer. Overall, though, I would say that people do care about their own appearances more than other people care about that. As a rule of thumb, it's not always the case, but on average, we tend to be harsher on ourselves. I would say right now, I don't care that much. There was a time where I actually cared about how I looked. But as you get older, I think you care a lot less about what you look like. But I would still think that, yes, I do care about my appearances more than other people do. Do you believe art can be judged? Yes. Like, That's not even a question. You never said anything about objective judgment versus subjective judgments. So if we're talking about subjective judgments, sure, yeah, you can judge art. Do you believe people should be judged? I mean, if you stop judging people, things like ethics and morality go out of the window and society just breaks apart. If we assume, okay, the humans are forced to live together, then there has to be a baseline acceptable behavior for everybody. And that behavior comes from having maximizing freedom, but at the same time minimizing, restricting other people's freedom. Like, everything is acceptable until you hurt someone else, basically. So if we assume that that is an absolute in how humans live and interact with each other, then yes, people should be judged and people should, you know, absolutely, you should be able to tell, yeah, this is a good person, this is a bad person. You should be able to form a judgment. And, you know, even if it's not like a connotation as good and evil or good or not good, like, judgments are just natural. People are categorizers. You know, our brains like to put categories on things, whether we like it or not. Now, in an ideal world, you probably wouldn't have to do that, but in the world we live, yes. Do you believe there are certain things that exist that we cannot perceive with our senses? I mean, yes. I'm pretty sure there are already things that we cannot perceive with our senses, like imagining an electromagnetic field. How do you perceive that? I don't think you can. But it exists, it's there. Most major forces of the universe act without us realizing they're there, they're acting. Plus, with how big is the universe? Sure, I mean, why not? Why not? Speaking of, by the way, did you hear about that fucking insane black hole that's careening through the universe at insane speeds? It's 20 millions times the size of our sun, and it's dragging like a gigantic tail of stars that it dragged into its field. Black hole shouldn't move. That is moving. It's, imagine a comet, right? Imagining a comet, like the comet has this big rock in the middle and then the trail of ice and particles in the back, right? This thing, instead of the rock, is a black hole, which is moving through the universe. And instead of a trail of particles, there's trails of stars that it captured while moving. Isn't that absolutely insane? Anyway, would you say that you often lack motivation? Yes. Yes, I do. I often think about, like, what it is all for, and I do realize how futile most things we do in life are, and that makes me lack motivation to do things in general. Because my mind is able to realize and think on a larger scale, and I can kind of glimpse through time, I can easily see that everything I've done in life will be completely pointless, like 50 years from now, 100 years from now, 500 years from now. So it's kind of hard to do anything when you think about that. That is basically my daily existential crisis. It's fine. Do you believe originality exists? Yes. New things are invented every day, and whether they are repurposing of existing things or like new concept altogether, but I think it's fair to say that originality still exists. Now, obviously, you could argue that nothing is original anymore, that everything is a variation or a twist on a concept that already exists, but it's kind of reductive, I think. Human creativity is still going. Do you believe your imagination has a limit? I mean, yes. Your imagination is limited by your knowledge and by your experience. Like, even if you come up with something new, imagine the first person that invented a monster, right? Like imagine being Lovecraft and inventing Cthulhu, stuff like that. That is still not so crazy and to think and to invent, to believe that it was like a limitless imagination that created it. Because, you know, what is that? A thing that comes from space. So you just look up, you see space, imagining that something could be up there, especially if you consider, you know, general knowledge about space. Even in the 1920s, it would be fairly easy to assume that, you know, there's planets, there's other things out there. Sure, there could be something up there, why not? What is it? It's like a giant squid Sure, with wings. Sure, wings are a thing that exists. Tentacles. Sure, there's animals with tentacles. It's not like they invented a completely new concept. Like, it's impossible. Everything is limited by... It was smart to describe things as being indescribable, but that's exactly that's exactly the limit. See, that's when that's when you hit the limit. So absolutely, yeah, imagination has a limit. Do you believe insanity is key to being a genius? If you say it like that, it seems bad, but I view insanity as something that could be positive in certain occasions. I don't view insanity as drooling while drawing things on the ceiling. Who is sane, really? So, sure, yeah, insanity is the key to being a genius. Like, you have to have a brain that thinks differently to be a genius. And if you usually have a brain that thinks differently, you're gonna be deemed insane, so sure. Do you believe that one day the world will speak only one universal language? We can only hope. We can only hope the day comes where everybody speaks the same language. I mean, it's possible, it's likely, even. If you look at the last 2,000 years of history, you can clearly tell how some languages have spread, evolved, started incorporating terms from other languages. It's not crazy to assume that a mix between English and Chinese will eventually be the one universal language. I know it's been used in many TV shows like sci-fi stuff, but when something like science, for example, starts adopting a language and technology uses a language, then eventually that language will be the one language. So sure, I mean, it'll probably take another 5,000 years or something, but sure, yeah, why not? Do you believe society shape people? Absolutely, yes. Fucking hell, look at how this society is shaping people. Like a bunch of idiots being brought up by this society. Sure. Do you believe time erodes achievements? Yes, absolutely. Like, who even stops for a second in their life thinking, how cool is the fact that somebody at some point invented fire? Like, no one gives a shit. Things become normalized. Achievements are temporary, a part of your generations and maybe the 2-3 generations that come after yours. But that's about it. Do you believe you possess free will? Whew, that's a very good question. It depends, again, on what you think free will is. In a lot of cultures, free will is associated with the concept of a soul, which basically assumes that you adhere to any religion that considers human to be more than a flashbag that works with chemicals and electricity. But is there any proof of that? So far, probably not. Any religious person will tell you that you don't need proof because you just can feel it, but that's bullshit, obviously. I mean, it's fine if you want to believe that, but scientifically speaking, it's bullshit, because if it's something that you could feel, then everybody could feel it, but not everybody can feel that. But for a moment, let's put that aside and imagine that free will is something that comes out of your own brain, right? We cannot control anything in our brain. Everything is sort of automated. Like, we don't decide when neurons fire, when neurohormones go around your brain, changing things. We don't decide almost anything. So it's hard to say that we have free will. Like initiating actions, even simple actions, for example. I've seen experiments where your brain basically already activates itself to perform a conscious action before the electrical impulses reach the part of your brain that elaborates, you know, the decision and the conscious action. I heard you mention something like that before. It's super interesting. It is incredibly interesting. So I think the experiment was something like that. People have been given a timer, all right? And they were told to stop it whenever they wanted to stop it. And so I think what they measured, like the electrical responses in the motor cortex, and long story short, what they realized is that the motor cortex starts acting way before, we're talking milliseconds, but you know, it's still relevant. Milliseconds before the actual conscious part of your brain receives the information. Obviously, that was a single action, but what if it works like that for everything? Then there is no free will. So it's either consciousness is another process, then you don't have free will, or no matter what you do, even if your brain starts actions before your consciousness realizes it, that you still have free will in the sense that it's what you wanted to do anyway. Like whether you were conscious or not, that's what you wanted to do before the action, right? Like these people have been told you have to stop the timer at some point. So it doesn't matter that you are conscious or not. Your brain took the decision and you are your brain, whether that's conscious or not. So yeah, free will is probably a thing. It's just that we will need to revisit the definition of free will. More science, more, down to earth, what's happening inside your brain, then sure, you probably have free will. If you're talking metaphysically and philosophically, then the question is way more complex. But I'm gonna say yes, just for the sake of it. Do you believe you are a self-fulfilling prophecy? What the fuck does that even mean? So what he's asking is that if I am the result of me leading myself into being who I am, that something that I am is a result of me working to make myself that way. Is that what this means? I'm not sure. I know self-fulfilling prophecies are used in psychology, usually negatively, for people that sabotage themselves. It's like when people say, oh, I'm a failure, I can't, get a job. But then they don't apply for jobs, they don't study, they don't do anything to learn maybe a new skill or something that could be applied to a job, and then they blame that on being a failure. So it's a vicious circle of you setting yourself up for failure and then calling yourself a failure and then using that to justify the fact that you're not doing anything, and it goes around and around and around. So if that is like the general concept, you believe you are a self-fulfilling prophecy, so my being is determined by what I do, whether I like it or not. I mean, I would say 70% yes and 30% no. There's a ton of things that you can do to change your situation, but not everything is under your control all the time. And that's a simple fact. So largely, probably yes. At the same time, there are limitations dictated by the life you're living, what's around you, the people around you, like where you've born. Yes, but no. Yes, but no, yeah. Now, the thing is, I don't know if I should answer yes because it's mostly yes, or if I should answer no because even a 1% of no would result in this being a no. Shows the limitation of a test, you see. If anything, this shows you that life is way more complicated than a yes and no. Now, even if I want to say yes, I'm gonna have to say no. Because even if I did everything I could to make something happen, ultimately, it's not entirely up to me. Especially as a human being living in a society made of billions of human beings. So probably not. Do you believe some problems cannot be solved? I think that every problem has a solution, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they can be solved. Like if you're talking about, I don't know, science, nature, stuff like that, then sure. Every problem can eventually be solved when the knowledge progresses to the point where it's possible to solve these things. When it comes to interaction between humans, some things just won't happen no matter what. And that is because humans don't always follow logic. Some people are the problem. Also true. Solving a problem, what does that mean? What does solving a problem mean? Is you have a problem, you have an issue, and you are applying a certain action to obtain a specific result that you control yourself, right? But that's impossible between humans because you cannot control one part of the problem. And if the solution is not entirely up to you, then even if there is theoretically a perfect course of action that will lead to a perfect resolution, that doesn't mean that you can solve it. So sure, some problems cannot be solved. Do you believe in the existence of karma? Man, no, fuck that. If karma existed right now, I would have a much better life because I feel like I've been punished so hard in the last 15 years. So I am going to say no until the day I win the lottery or something. You do a big payout. I feel like I am. I'm gonna say no, but I'm reserving final judgment until the day I die. Okay? Because I don't know if the big payout is gonna come in like 5 to 10 years, 20 years maybe. I don't know. I would say unlikely, but if I stop thinking about myself for a moment, I am pretty sure that on a wider scale, most people get fucked by life, and that's about it. And there's no karma. Nothing good comes back. Some people just get fucked. And that's how it is. Do you believe you can accurately measure a person's success in life? Interesting. What's considered success? Because you can probably accurately measure a specific type of successes. Like imagine you are trying to measure the person's success in their jobs. Then sure, you can compare the current position to, you know, the position of other people that have about the same qualifications, that worked in the same sort of jobs. And, you know, you can see how much they get paid, how much you get paid, compare that with the cost of living and all those things, you know, lots of data, sure, but you can probably accurately measure that. But then, you know, a success in life, what does that even mean to be successful in life? Does the person even consider himself a success? Right? How many times have we seen incredibly famous people that have like popularity, money, people around them, and then they are still absolutely miserable, and sometimes they even end up taking their own lives? I think success in life is a very personal concept, and I don't think anybody will ever be 100% happy about their success in life. And I also don't think they can accurately measure it. I mean, it specifically says accurately. There's no way you can accurately measure something that is so wildly different for everybody. So I'm gonna say no. Have you achieved everything you want to achieve in life? Hell no. I don't think you ever will achieve everything you want in life. Like there is no way, because of how we are basically made. Even if you would achieve something big, something really big, you wouldn't stop there. Your brain would keep going and find a new goal, because that's what we are, that we are goal-oriented creatures. It doesn't matter how young, how old we are, there's always going to be something after. So, no. I don't think anybody will ever achieve everything they wanted. Have you ever experienced a miracle? No. I mean, I feel like I can't even come up with an example. No. What's a miracle? Are we talking about like religion's miracles? Then 100% no. Something extremely lucky? Who, me? No. Nah. I mean, I managed to land some of the most annoying, non-lethal human conditions that you can possibly have to annoy the hell out of you without being like a threat to your life. Is that a miracle? I don't think it is. I feel like a miracle has to be positive by definition. Definition of miracle: an extraordinary and welcome event that is not explicable by natural or scientific laws and is therefore attributed to divine agency. A remarkable event or development that brings very welcome consequences. No. No. Never. Nope. Nope. Would you say you dream often? Sure, we all do. Would you say you are plagued with nightmares? No, I don't think so. You didn't even sleep often. That is true, but when I do have a lot of dreams. Like 2 days ago, I woke up probably 10 times at night, but every time I fell back to sleep, I started a new dream. It was a machine gun of dreams. But I wouldn't say I'm plagued with nightmares. Like, I don't even have nightmares usually. Maybe one a year? I don't... Yeah, no. Are you sometimes afraid of yourself? Jesus. I mean, I am? Am I? Aren't we all a little afraid of ourselves sometimes? Like, if you think about it, you imagine yourself being capable of things that are not entirely normal. I think that's scary in itself. You know, imagine like wild, crazy scenarios where, I don't know, someone breaks into your house and threatens your life. Would you kill them if you had the chance? I would say yes immediately without even thinking about it, because my survival instinct is stronger than my conscience. And that is scary because I'm not a psycho, by the way, but you know, I feel like there's a certain level of your animal instinct that you cannot control, and maybe you don't even want to control if that was the case. So yeah, that's scary. Do you believe you made an impact in this world? No, nobody does. Would you consider yourself to be a rational individual? Sure. Mostly, yeah. As much as the average human can be rational. Sure. Do you believe you always have full control over your own actions? No. Like full control over your actions? I wish, but no. Sometimes, whether it's unconscious or whether it's, I don't know, stomping your feet and doing something that you know you shouldn't do, but you do it anyway, I feel like you don't always have full control. It says full, all right? Mostly full control over your actions, that I would say yes. But always 100% total control? Nah, I don't think so. Do you believe everything in life has a purpose? No, things just happen. They don't need a reason, they just happen. Have you considered yourself to be a fearful person? Yes, there's many things that scare me in life, and that's a good thing. Fear is a result of a strong self-preservation instinct. I am afraid of driving, but fuck me, why would you blame me? You're throwing yourself into a metal cube speeding at 100 kilometers per hour in a sea of other metal cubes that could or could not crash into you. Fuck that, how is that not scary? How is that not a scary concept? So yes, sure. Do you have many regrets in life? No. I can easily answer that. One thing I do, even if something makes me think about other possibilities, or I usually think about how things could have gone differently, but that's mostly like a brain exercise. I don't regret how things go, no matter what. If anything, I use that, and I use imagining different scenarios as a guideline to guide my following actions. But I wouldn't say regret. Regret to me feels like something that you stress over, something that you keep thinking about, like, oh my god, if I did that, oh fuck, my life would have been so different right now. No, I don't do that. Do you feel like anything is holding you back in life? Yes, I do. My body, my frail, decaying body is actually holding me back in life. Absolutely, yes. Have you ever been heartbroken? Yes. Easy question. Have you ever broken someone else's heart? Yes. Yes, I have. But like, there is a point where you have to, because other people cannot decide the course of your life, and if they just don't match, then you have to break someone else's heart. Do you believe in destiny? Nah. Nah, that's bullshit. Do you believe the future is unpredictable? Ooh, that's a very cool question. I mean, again, Destiny is a video game. It's real. It sucks. So I'm gonna say no. I still don't believe in Destiny. It's actually a pretty good engine, and it's a pretty solid shooter, but the game model is truly one of the worst I've seen in my life. The future is unpredictable. I mean, imagine for a moment that you could measure empirically the course of action of everybody. That would mean that the future is predictable, but that would immediately contradict the free will one. Because if everybody has free will, then there's always going to be an element of unpredictability. Is that a word? But how do you predict like something on such a large scale? Also, as we said before, things just happen for no reason. So no, I don't think the future is fully predictable. So what's the question again? Do you believe the future is unpredictable? Yes. Do you believe all things in life are connected in some way? Sounds very metaphysical, and I also smell bullshit. I don't think they are. Gut feeling says no. I mean, you can probably make up some random reason why you are connected, like physically or not, but it's like a made-up concept. It's not real. Would you consider yourself to be a prideful person? I'm a streamer. No. Would you consider yourself to be a vindictive person? I'm gonna say yes, but I don't act on my vendettas. Does that make any sense? Like, I throw a lot of curses around, but I don't really act on that. Atoms in it. Yeah, it's all connected, man. So does that make me a vindictive person if I don't act upon it? Good question, right? Like, in spirit I am. But I don't think you are a vindictive person if you don't act upon it. Because thinking about something probably doesn't make you that something. Having or showing a strong or unreasoning desire for revenge. I mean, I have it. I'm not sure if it's unreasoning. I think most of the times my vendettas are very, very logical. For you. Well, let's say I would love to like do something absolutely awful to my neighbors, but they have fucked with my life on a level that is really terrible. So is that unreasonable? They fucking ruined my life so hard. They make me take antidepressant for almost a year. Is that unreasonable to want some divine punishment for them? I wouldn't say it is. Is it so bad to wish that they just have horrible, horrible diarrhea for the rest of their lives every day? I don't think so. But sure, let's say I am. Would you consider yourself to be a loving person? Yes, actually. But that is reserved for such a limited amount of beings in existence at a time that it could be perceived as a no, but trust me, I am. Would you say you usually learn from your mistakes the first time around? Mostly, it depends. For things that don't matter, like video games, no. But for things that matter in life, actually, yes. Do you believe that true equality exists in the world? No, and will never exist. Do you always treat everyone you meet fairly? Probably not. It's hard to do so. It's really hard. And it says always. Again, I focus on that. It doesn't say most of the times. It says always. And sometimes your brain just goes places. As we said before, people get judged. And not always consciously. So, probably not. You believe you've always been treated fairly? Absolutely not. Do you believe you can escape change? Huh? Things can change? Huh? What? I didn't know things can change. No, I don't think anybody can escape. Wait, hang on. If you can escape change. That question assumes that you believe that things can change. But I don't. If it asks for, do you believe that things can change? I'd have easily said no, but like, do you believe you can escape change? It also assumes you don't want change. That's also true. I don't know what to answer here, honestly. Well, I do believe that people escape change all the time. Do you ever prolong simple tasks you know you ought to get taken care of? It says do you ever? So I suppose I should say yes, like sometimes I do. It's not often, but it says do you ever, so yeah. Procrastination, hell yes. Do you believe the end always justify the means? Again, it says always, so that's a no, but I do believe sometimes the end justify the means. Do you ever use harsh words when speaking to others? Yes. Would you consider yourself to be a resentful person? Yes. Are you putting your best effort into shaping life the way that you want? Dude, try not to sleep for a week and then I'm putting my best effort to just get through the day. It's kind of hard to also have some energy left over to shape my life the way that I want it. But I want to answer no. Just because I feel like there's always something that we can do that we are not doing. Consciously, unconsciously, it doesn't matter, but I don't think anybody tries 100% every single time. You believe you made mistakes in life? Many mistakes. Oof. I mean, I don't know about many. I made some. I don't think I made many mistakes in life. I would say I made like a couple of big mistakes maybe. But saying many feels so Like my life is a train wreck. I don't think so. No. Are you willing to try anything once? Absolutely not. I have a brain that can predict outcomes of things. I don't need to try them. Thank you very much. Do you have a pretty good understanding of who you are as a person? I think I do. I think I spend probably an unhealthy amount of time thinking about who I am as a person. So that comes with a little bit of an understanding as to who I am. Have you ever felt like life may not be worth living? I don't... I mean, it says ever, again. Surely sometimes I have thought that life just sucks. It's definitely not worth living. But that doesn't mean that you have to stop living it. If you consider the overall worth of living a life, no. I don't think you ever felt like life may not be worth living. So that's a yes. Sometimes life is just not worth living. Some people go through an unbearable amount of pain in their lives and then they die, and that sucks. Would you tell those people that life was worth living? Some people die incredibly young without experiencing most things in life. I mean, I don't want to be a downer here, but it's just being objective and realistic here. If your best friend was dying, oh my god, and you were the only one who knew, would you tell them the truth about their condition? Yes! Why wouldn't I? I mean, it's probably gonna change their lives, but they kind of deserve to know? And why would I keep it for myself? What's the point of knowing, then? Knowledge is meant to be shared. If you keep it for yourself, it's pointless. Do you believe assisted suicide should be permissible? Absolutely yes. Have you ever wanted to live forever? Absolutely yes. Every day of my life. Have you ever questioned why you exist? Sure. In my many existential crises, I have done that, yes. Do you believe your life has value? What is the point of knowing if I can't make my best friend miserable in his last days? What if... I mean, that's one way of looking at it. What if telling them and letting them know how much time they have helps them maximizing the life they have left? Instead of maybe wasting it doing random things. It really depends on, like, what a person thinks about their own life and the value of every day they spend. What if they, at the end, just regret a bunch of things that they didn't do because they didn't know they were about to die? I'm positive that it's not for everybody, that's for sure. Not everybody would do well with that, you know, information. But some people definitely benefit from knowing. Do you believe your life has value? That's a fucking, like, what does that mean, even? What kind of value? For who? I mean, for myself, obviously, yes. My life is valuable because I only have the one. In the grand scheme of things, over the entire arc of humanity, probably my life has absolutely no value. But I suppose they do ask if I believe my life has value, and I have to say yes, because, you know, as I said, for myself, of course it does. Have you ever doubted your own existence? Oh boy, here we go. I mean, I have. I mean, surely everybody that knows anything about science, philosophy, stuff like that, once in their life at least ask themselves, am I real? Am I a dream? Am I a simulation? Is this happening? I don't think they intend doubt as, do you truly believe that you don't exist? Because that's insane, obviously. But like we don't even know anything about our existence. We cannot even prove that we are alive, that we exist and everybody else is real. The only proof for reality is that it's our perceptions. But like, there is no way to prove that I'm not dreaming this inside of a tube in a Matrix style world. So sure, have I ever doubted my existence? Yes. Would you consider yourself to be defective? I consider my body to be defective. Does that count? I mean, if I could ask a refund, I would. That counts? Cool. Yes, then. Do you believe good can exist without evil as a contrast? I don't think so. Like, you can only measure good because there's like a scale and the contrast. Otherwise, it wouldn't be good. It would be just actions. Not murdering someone is good just because murdering someone is evil, right? If murdering someone wasn't evil, then it would be acceptable and it wouldn't be neither good or bad. It would just be a thing that happens. So no, there has to be, it's a scale. Yeah, we have to define like the spectrum, otherwise it doesn't work. Have you ever felt like you were placed here for a greater purpose than which you serve? No, don't think anybody is. Would you consider yourself to be a violent person? I don't think so. But like, I don't exclude it as a possibility to react incredibly violently if it's appropriate to do so. But on a general basis, no, I'm not a violent person. If somebody were trying to murder me, I would fucking just claw their eyes out of their fucking skull, okay? I wouldn't hesitate for a moment to bite into their freaking neck to save my life. But other than that, I think in normal life scenarios, I'm not a violent person, no. Would you consider yourself to have a dark mind? Yes. I mean, as proven by the previous question, yes. Would you consider laughter to be the best medicine in most cases? I think that if you can laugh about anything, even things that are like tough to laugh at, you're doing very well in life. It shows a sign of great intelligence. You make fun of things that cannot be made fun of, and if it's done between people that understand that, it is truly the best thing. So, yes. Have you ever loved someone whom did not love you in return? Sag. Oh, Sag. Yes. Have you ever wished to be loved by all? Holy shit, hell no. A very limited few? Yes. All? Stay away from me. Freaks. Do you believe that you could still live a happy life if you were hated by all? I mean, no, I don't think it's possible because you are literally surrounded by people. If every single one of them hated you, you would be miserable. Like, consider the hypothetical scenario where everyone knows your face and everybody knows who you are and they all hate you. Like, you couldn't do anything. You couldn't go to the doctor. You couldn't go to the grocery to do groceries. You couldn't pay your bills. You can't go to freaking, I don't know, a bar to drink something that was probably spitting your drink. Like, there's no way, dude. There's no way. The only successful career you could do at that point would be Twitter. So, I would say no. It wouldn't be a happy life. Are you initially afraid of letting others get close to you for any reason? I wouldn't say afraid. No, I don't think so. I mean, I had my guard up, but I don't think I'm afraid. If anything, I overshare, even when I shouldn't. Do you have any nervous tics or anxious quirks that you know of? Restless leg syndrome? I do that when I'm nervous. I mean, I sweat when I'm anxious. Is it a quirk though? Or is that normal? Because I think that's pretty normal. Well, I suppose the leg is like a nervous tic. So, sure. I mean, they had to tell me in school and in university to stop moving my legs. Because I was like in the middle of an oral exam and I would just keep moving my leg and the teacher were like, can you please stop moving your leg? And I was like, I'm sorry. I'm very anxious. I'm sorry. Are you a fan of thunderstorms? They're fantastic. Yeah, they look awesome. I love them. Me too, man. Me too. Are you able to find peace among chaos? Yes. But you have to leave me the fuck alone. Do you believe that you have peace in your life at this very moment? At this very moment? Not really. I'm going through quite a thing. But I have felt peaceful before. Have you ever feared that perhaps you have a grim future? Yes. I mean, I stress about my health every day. Have you ever been overwhelmed with a sense of dread or impending doom? I mean, impending doom? No. A sense of dread? Yes. It says overwhelmed, though. I don't think overwhelmed is... What does it mean to overwhelm? I mean, I definitely felt a sense of dread when I think about my own mortality. I don't think it's overwhelming, though. I'll say no. Instinctually, you know? Would you say you have many friends? No, absolutely not. I have a few friends. And that's fine like that. I don't want many friends. Would you say you have many enemies? No. Have you ever trusted someone entirely without question? Yes. And usually get fucked because of it. You sometimes believe that you're destined to be a hero. No, what the fuck? You sometimes believe that you're destined to be a villain. I wish, but unfortunately it's not gonna happen. If you had superhuman powers, would you use them exclusively for good? Fuck no. Do you often find beauty in those who cannot find beauty within themselves? Huh? Do you often find beauty in those who cannot find beauty within themselves? Oh, yes. Yeah. Lots of people cannot find beauty in themselves, but they are awesome people. Do you ever have difficulty finding beauty within yourself? I mean, it says ever. Sometimes yes, but most of the times no, but it says ever, so yes. Do you believe that sometimes suffering is a necessary part of life? Yes, life is pain. Accept it. Have you ever caused someone to suffer unnecessarily? Unnecessarily? I mean, it's a very personal judgment call. Like, for me, was probably necessary, but not sure for them it was perceived as necessary. I don't think anybody ever deserves to suffer, but if we can for a second repurpose the question as, have you ever caused someone to suffer willingly for no reason, for the sole purpose of making them suffer, then no. Absolutely not. But I think making someone suffer is a pretty natural part of interacting with other humans. You can't always do everything that, you know, matches with their ideas and their morality, so obviously sometimes somebody's gonna suffer for something that you do. But like, you can't control that. Do you believe that torture is ever justified? I mean, I'm trying to think of a scenario in which torture is justified. A part of me wants to say that torturing someone that did something unspeakably horrible is probably retribution, but at the same time, it's just such a waste of time and energy, and ultimately I don't think it changes anything, so probably not. Have you ever felt like life is torturing you? Yes. Last week especially. Do you believe the war is necessary for peace? War is never necessary ever. Humans are dumb. That's it. Do you find violence to be entertaining? Absolutely yes. Fucking video games? I'd love to smash things to bits. Do you believe that morality can be thought? Not a psycho, by the way. Look, you can enjoy something simulated that is completely wrong in life. Otherwise, we wouldn't be playing video games ever. Or watching movies ever. Sure, morality can be thought. Yeah, why not? Do you believe that success is always a good thing? Absolutely not. If you could get away with breaking any laws that you wanted to, would you walk around doing anything and everything you wanted? Absolutely yes. You crazy? That would be just stupid not to do so. Would you say that you always... Not a psycho, by the way. Would you say that you always know right from wrong when making decisions in life? No. I mean, there would be no wrong decision if I knew. Would you consider yourself to be an excellent judge of characters? Actually, yes. And I'm usually pretty right in my assessments of people. Are you good at telling when someone is lying? No. Like, you could literally tell me anything you want. Would you consider yourself to be a talented liar? Yes. Mostly because I never lie, and I set like a precedent of never lying to anybody, and if I were to lie, people would not tell the difference. Are you always honest with everyone you meet in life? Yes. Mostly, yes. I mean, always, probably not. It says always. Always no. Yeah, always no. 95% of the time, yes. If you found a stray animal and bonded with it over the course of a year, only to be confronted by the owner a year later asking for the animal back, would you return it to the original owner? The original owner can suck my dick. What the fuck? Why did you lose your animal for a year? Why did it take you a year to find it back? And now you want it back? Fuck you. Get the fuck away from me. And my pet. I'll fight you. Do you often see the good in someone even when it isn't there? No, but I pretty often see the evil in people even when it isn't there. Does that count? Do you believe that the difference between good and evil is only a matter of opinion? Well, yes, technically it is. The difference between good and evil is a product of morality and society. If for some reason like a huge gigantic event would change the course of history and would reshape society and morality in general, then good and evil would change depending on what's considered good or not. You believe that love is a weakness? No. I mean, it is. It absolutely is, but it's part of loving. It's being weak, right? Exposing yourself. Not physically, obviously. Never do that. Don't expose yourself to people. But, you know, showing your weakness to someone, it's part of the process of being loved. And sure, that exposes you to being exploited, and that makes you weak in turn. But I don't believe that love itself is a weakness. Would you consider yourself to have fortunate luck most of the time? Alright. Would you consider yourself to be a merciful person? Not really. I used to be more merciful. Now I'm at the point in life where I'm just cutting the bullshit. And that means stop making excuses for other people. And limiting the amounts of instances where people can disappoint me. They do it more than once, they're gone. So, no, I'm not merciful anymore. No. You believe that honesty is always the best policy? Yes. 100%. Have you ever broken an important promise even though you knew that you shouldn't? I don't think so. I don't... Like, I mean, I feel like if it's something that big, I should remember, but... Can't remember ever breaking a promise ever, in fact. I mean, sure, maybe sometimes I told someone, hey, we're gonna do this thing on Saturday, right? Yeah, sure. And then come Saturday, I feel like absolute trash, and I tell somebody, okay, I can't make it, I'm actually destroyed today. Is that breaking a promise? And breaking an important promise? I don't think so, no. Do you believe that ignorance is bliss? Yes. Have you ever wondered if life could be a test? No. If it is, it's a fucking cruel one. I find your answers very interesting, Wanderer. I believe I got to know you so much better in such a short period of time. I'd like to thank you for allowing me the opportunity. It truly has been a pleasure. As a token of my gratitude, I would like to bestow upon you a gift. This is the gift of insight, Wanderer. I will tell you what I see deep within you. Please listen to my words carefully, Wanderer, for they bear the weight of your soul. And see inside of you, Wanderer. Ew. Stop looking. You pervert. I can see things kept down deep. No one else can see them, but I surely can. Don't make that face. The secrets that you keep within, carved deep under your skin, the things you hold that no one knows, weigh so heavily upon your soul. You wouldn't dare to let them out. For fear of judgment, disdain and doubt grow within you like a cancer, creating questions with no answers. Always longing for someone to come. With grace and trust you may succumb. So lonely and lost that you must feel. So tiring it must be to conceal. Seeds within your mind do sprout, growing through bone and protruding out. Through your saddened eyes we see the echoes of your mind's misery. Let them blossom, let them bloom. For vines of doubt escape their tomb. Let your roots uplift and escape as your freedom begins to take shape. Secrets, for we all do keep. Yours disturb you in your sleep, if I had any. It has come time to embrace your fear and reveal that you hold so dear. Let go of your fears, Wanderer. Let go of your doubt, your fear of abandonment, your fear of rejection, your fear of judgment. Dude, have you been paying attention? I told you I don't fear those things. Literally told you that. You asked me directly if I did and I told you no. They weight you down. They hold you back. They suffocate you. And they will drown you in a sea of loneliness and despair. Fuck me. Allow yourself to finally be free. You deserve to be free. Heed these words, Wanderer. It will help you on your journey forward if you let them. I want to give you one more parting gift before I take my leave. A simple gift, if you will. One singular word. The gift of word, Wanderer, is freedom. Remember this word moving forward, for it will help you in ways that you couldn't possibly fathom. Trust me on that. And with that, I take my leave. Until next time, Wanderer. And I think that's it. Thank you for playing. Yeah, no problem. Alright, that was the test. As I said before, I do like to do tests in general. Like, a long time ago, I used to spend afternoons with a friend of mine just running random tests that we found on the internet. Like all sorts of tests, personality tests, what's your favorite thing, you know, all sorts of weird different tests. It's just something that I enjoy. Mostly because I like talking about the options, the reasoning behind the choices, all those things. I think it's fun. I like the thought experiment. I like the discussion. It's just something that I enjoy.